Testing. How you guys doing? I don't know if you guys can see me right here. Welcome to the after show, the weekly live stream thing where we talk about stuff from the past week. It is really hot in here. I know this is like the most uncasual live streams that I do. I don't know if you guys can hear me. There's like a jet coming out of my Mac. Like, that's how hot it is in here. I'm sweating more than when Papa John's was talking to Forbes magazine. It is extremely hot, but nonetheless, if you missed last week's was actually over on Let Me Explain because we had hit 100,000. So thank you for that. So if you missed last week's, that one's up over there. My girlfriend and I, we did the live stream over there. So if you want to check that out, as you know, the rest of these are brought to you by the lovely patrons over there. If this plays, let's see. Boom. There we go. The patrons over on Patreon, I do these weekly pretty much. I like doing them live, talking to you guys, getting your guys' questions, which you'll see pop out on the screen as well. But that's thanks to the patrons. I archive everything over there, and like I'm trying to revamp this stuff before September to try to do like a bunch of just exclusive stuff over there on Patreon. But obviously my main thing is to just make the free videos out there, so that's sort of like what we talk about here on the after show, get your guys' questions and different stuff. I tend to, I had started with a song. The problem with it is that the last times that I have played music on here, boom, that thing got copyrighted like crazy. And not even for the right song. But I would highly recommend Childish Gambino's new song. The summertime one, I can't remember which one it is because he's got a couple of summertime ones. So let me pull that up right here as they wrap up right there. And Summertime Magic. That is the one that I highly recommend. But yeah, like I said, this is the after show right there. Shout out to the people who watch it live every Monday for the most part. If I switch it up, I'll let you guys know in advance. But yeah, I'll be answering you guys' questions and stuff. I guess one of the updates, in case you guys didn't see the monthly video, because I know that one's like 30-something minutes, so people may not want to see the whole thing, is the Twitter ones. I know you guys like those Twitter videos that I do weekly. I'm moving those over to Let Me Explain because I'm working on different stuff here for the A to Z show that I talked about for like 2019 thing. But I finally came up with a name. Like, one of the things that I saw is that every time somebody has a series, they got to have a name for it. And I was like, well, I always explain stuff, yada, 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 yada. Ooh, this would be the part where I read your tweets and I let you explain. Boom. So I'm going to make it a series over there on Let Me Explain, where I'll be going through your tweets, and I'm going to be calling it Let You Explain. So I want to continue doing that because I know you guys like that, so that'll be over there. That's probably the biggest change of them all. As you guys have seen, again, thank you for the 100K over on Let Me Explain. That's been dope. I'm going to pick it up on Hear Me Out for sure. But then I hear the A to Z show. You're obviously watching the A to Z show, so I appreciate that. I'll be answering you guys' questions. But a little bit of the wrap-up for this past week. Some of the videos that I came up with on the A to Z show. One that I was actually sitting on for a bit, which was The Power of Pixar. I had like different names. I had written it, almost recorded it around the time that The Incredibles came out. I said, I'm sweating like crazy. I'm going to dehydrate. 20 pounds just on this live stream Lost Watch. But no, pretty much the whole point of the video was me talking about Pixar and like how influential they are, just like everything is. Funniest thing about it, and you guys know this if you've been watching for the longest time, if you follow me on Twitter over at the A to Z show, yo, I make a video and I'll get called Republican garbage and liberal propaganda in the same video. This one's no different. But I thought it was interesting to see people's influences of growing up. Some people, Pixar wasn't their thing. It was other stuff. It was probably like shows and different things that I got comments for. And oh yeah, the other thing that I had mentioned in the must watch video, which I also came up with, besides the change of the Let Me Explain, was the road trip thing. Some of you guys have heard me mention it specifically here on the weekly live stream, but it's going to be that East Coast road trip starting from Orlando all the way up to New York, Boston, and then heading on to TIFF. So for those of you who will be going to TIFF, definitely let me know any of the insights and stuff like that. But if you have any recommendations throughout the entire road trip that we're going to be doing, I've been getting a bunch, so I highly appreciate that. Some of you guys have sent me messages on Twitter, Instagram, or right there in the comment section of that video for places to go visit and eat. And if you've heard me talk about it in the past, it doesn't matter what it is. If you put a restaurant on my radar or anything on my radar, I will visit that place and I will try to get to it, because the last thing I want is to get a recommendation for a restaurant, not be able to go to that restaurant. Then I'm back home and like some Diners and Dash thing comes on and they're like, the restaurant you don't want to miss, and it ends up being the one that I miss. So I highly appreciate you guys' recommendations, especially if you're from the spot. Like if any of you guys ever came to Chicago, I know what places to hit you up with, so that's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the wrap up for the A to Z show. In terms of Let Me Explain, one of the biggest things that we've been getting bombarded with recently, which I haven't been used to with the A to Z show, is quick to mention over there too. If you follow me on Instagram, because I'm just seeing right here, I don't know if the vlogging thing is for that. I don't usually vlog, but the closest thing that I would get to that is a little bit of a review series that I want to do. Like, let's say A to Z goes to Atlanta. A to Z does Orlando. A to Z does whatever it is, Washington, D.C. I kind of like my review of this city. Mostly positive, because I'm not going to bash a city like Takashi did and then, like, I don't know, have someone show up here in Chicago with police. But if you head on over to Instagram, that's what, when they announce their Instagram TV or whatever that's called, that's where I'm going to be posting, like, everything. So, like, when I go to Orlando, anything that, like, stands out to me, I'll probably make a video for that. And I'll probably make a video for, like, any of the other places that I visit, just to test out that thing over there, because it's been getting a lot of hype. Jaden Smith released his entire album on Instagram TV before anything else. So I figured that would be a perfect way to utilize it, to not just repost the same stuff that I'm making here over there. So if you're curious to follow the trip or if that, like, interests you at all, definitely head on over to Instagram at the A to Z show. Completely forgot what I was saying. Have absolutely no... Let Me Explain. Let Me Explain, it's been getting bombarded with sponsorships. Now, I'm not going to mention the sponsorships because that would be pointless to promote the ones that we haven't signed a deal with yet. But I want to put it in a way where, first of all, those Let Me Explain videos are broken down in minutes. Like, that's what people want. They like them in minutes. So one of the things that I definitely want to do is, or not do, is have them be, like, you know, we did one for an app, and, like, that was, like, a minute long, and I'm like, okay, that was, like, the first sponsorship we ever did, but that's, like, a minute already of the 6 minutes that's being explained. So I'm trying to mainly have them for, like, franchise recaps, things that aren't necessarily timely videos. So, like, Mission Impossible, if that's coming out, the Conjuring one, if that's coming out. I want to keep it to those videos where it's, like, a franchise recap and have the ads or the sponsors be on those videos, instead of the ones that you guys, like, are really looking forward to. So, like, Unfriended, that comes out this week, which for whatever reason has 2 endings, and I've seen it. It's dumb. I don't want to, like, put it on those. That then takes away from, like, that video. I'd rather do it, like, on a recap franchise type of thing, if that makes any sense. And the biggest thing with the sponsors is that I also want to get some, not for, like, trash things, because I get a bunch of sponsorships for trash things, but I want it to be things that actually make sense, things that are free for you guys, because I think, like, the best way for it to work out is if a sponsorship comes up to us, and I'm barely learning all this. I don't know it as much as other people may know it, or if you guys know it at all. To get it to a point where if the sponsorship comes to us, it helps the channel, because we get copywritten a lot with Let Me Explain. But we get that sponsorship, but I want it to be, like, the freest thing ever. So it's not like, oh, look at the sponsorship, but you guys got to pay $80 for the service. No, it's like when the app thing came, I'm like, that's perfect. You guys can now support the show by just downloading an app. Y'all can delete the app literally 5 minutes after. But I want to find ways where the sponsorships can help you, help us in the freest, easiest way possible. That's the dream. That's what I want to get it at. Or it be at a place where it's like you guys get, like, a ridiculous discount for something that I really like, which is some of the ones that I'm working out. But anyways, that's just a little update to let you guys know on that, just to keep you guys informed, because I appreciate you guys watching. Let me answer some of you guys' questions. What 3 movies have you surprised you the most far this year, and what 3 were the biggest disappointments? Holy smokes. I wouldn't know what the... Unfriended really disappointed me. I saw that one recently, and it's not that it's bad. It disappointed me because it's like, I'm a big fan of Searching. That surprised me the most, seeing it at Sundance. I didn't think I was going to love it that much, and you guys have been hearing me talk about it probably as much as Hereditary. So when I see Unfriended's coming out of nowhere, I'm like, y'all really want to take the gimmick away from this movie that I truly love, that people are already going, oh, Searching is just like Unfriended. Man, that disappoints me a lot, but I'll have a Let Me Explain for that on Thursday to let you guys know on that. Finally, I catched up on some Let Me Explain and Hear Me Out. I heard your brother gets bullied by you and your other brother. That's why he just shows his audio clips. It's true. Abusive family we run. Hey, man, keep pumping out videos. I'm a new sub, and I just want to say keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Do you think the Cloverfield sequel will be announced at San Diego Comic-Con? You know, that... The Aquaman poster just came out, which I thought was hilarious. Hey, Brianna. It always sneaks up on me. San Diego Comic-Con just comes out of nowhere, sneaks up. But I am excited to see... The things I'm most excited for when it comes to Comic-Con are the things that get announced that nobody was thinking of, right? Not the next Marvel thing or like DC thing, but like a project like that maybe we didn't know was in the works. Those I think are the coolest. So if they do, that'd be super dope. Didn't Childish Gambino say he wasn't making music after Awaken My Life? He did. He said he was like done with the Childish Gambino moniker, but he's a smart guy. Like, you guys have heard me, like, you know, in a lot of my videos, I try to sprinkle some of the stuff that I've learned along this YouTube journey. He is known as Childish Gambino. To just throw that away would not be a smart marketing move, even though I know that he's been trying to rebrand his thing. I feel like he slowly is. You know, if you've been following Childish Gambino for the longest time, I think he started that almost like as a joke. Then, you know, he was talented and it got really good. And then with Awaken My Love, it's like, all right, I can't change the name completely, but I can change the style. Then this other album, I'll change the style. And he might eventually change the name, if not just fully embrace it. Because he made Childish Gambino on a Wu-Tang generator. That's how he got the name. But he is signed for 3 more albums. He signed a contract, I want to say, for 3 more albums. Where's June's Best Movies? Already up. Definitely go check that out. Oh, George. Thank you, George. I'm bummed out that Sorry to Bother You has no UK release date yet. Do I pirate it or wait? This is common with these Sundance movies. Look, I'm not one who is ever going to say pro-pirate. I don't want to add a but in anything in there. I don't know what the release date is for it. I don't know when the VOD thing for it is. I hate when that happens. You can't even pirate it. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't even know if you can pirate it because there's no like screener or anything out for it. But I don't know. I'm hoping that it comes out. What I like to do is sometimes post like when there's like available screenings and stuff like that. I don't really keep up with the UK mainly because it's not in the email demographic stuff that I get, but it's worth it. Like, that's the best thing I can tell you. In the meantime, listen to the album. He actually worked on this movie back in 2012, didn't finish it, so he made an entire album about it. And the book is also out. So while you wait, there is that. So what's your opinion about David Lynch and what movies of him do you like? Twin Peaks, I'm still catching up on. I'm blanking on some. To me, David Lynch, since he's obviously a person who's like, don't explain the movies, just feel the movies. I don't always feel his movies. Mulholland Drive is a big one that I know a lot of people like. I'm blanking on the one of his that I do like. There's like one that I like a lot, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So I guess it doesn't stand out as much. But I respect the dude. Dude's wild. Even if he's not always for me. Love your stuff, Arturo. Love seeing a Hispanic YouTube personality out there. Also, thanks for putting me on with movies with Mikey. For sure. Have you seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet? If so, what did you think? I have an entire Let Me Explain on it. It's funny, even if it's just filler sometimes. I love The Leftovers. Are you interested in watching the Watchmen HBO series? I've seen season 1 of The Leftovers. Gotta finish catching up on that. And yes. What is your opinion on Tom Holland? I like him. Even if he doesn't make me feel so good sometimes. Let's see. Sagging fly like a dragon bit. Sure. Let's see. I was wondering how and where do you get your news and stories from about films and stuff. I want to be knowledgeable too, but don't know where to start. Keep up the great work. I mean, there's a bunch of people who cover news out there. I get a lot of my stuff. I follow a lot of film critics and people on Twitter who just reshare things. It's also a bunch of garbage out there, so I guess that's the biggest thing. Usually, ironically, it comes from Twitter and a bunch of articles that get compiled there on Twitter. That's usually where I get my news from. And also, the Insert Out Podcast. The Insert Out Podcast is where my boy Zach and I, that's the podcast that we run, and he pretty much gathers the best news that he can find. He really dives into that. I get my news from the Insert Out Podcast, and I'm the one on the podcast, so, I mean, there is that. But there's definitely a lot of stuff out there, a lot of podcasts. A lot of YouTube series that cover movie news, a bunch of movie websites. I used to read a lot of Cinema Blend. Then they were just releasing like when people talk about clickbait. Clickbait doesn't mean that you read the title and then you don't like the interpretation. Clickbait is when you say, "Here's our first look at Gamora." It's a damn Snapchat picture that the actress posted of her nails being done. So I get my news from usually Twitter or people that I trust sharing that stuff. Let's see. Horror movie suggestions for 3 a.m. as in like 3 a.m. in the morning. One of my favorite movies is The Others, so I would recommend that. Are you looking forward to the remake Suspiria? Yes, we were talking about that before. I am. Eraserhead. Eraserhead is weird. That is not the one I'm thinking of, though. Are you excited for Joaquin Phoenix Joker or Jared Leto? Here's my perspective of movies. I'm done with expectations. I just like seeing it come out. And if it's a wild and crazy ride, let's do it. Let's go for it. So, sure. Whether it's good, we'll see. I was excited for Jared Leto's Joker. How'd that turn out? Favorite and least favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie? My favorite's probably Magnolia, and probably my least favorite is Inherent Vice. I wasn't the biggest fan of Inherent Vice, and the more behind the scenes that I saw to it, the more that I just kept seeing like his interviews talking about, oh yeah, I don't really, we were just like shotgunning it on the spot. So my opinion on that. Who's your favorite director right now? Denis Villeneuve. To me, he can do no wrong. How good is Searching? Been looking forward to it since I saw the trailer. I don't like overhyping stuff. I personally really like it because it tugged at all the emotional heartstrings. I'll have an interview coming out like the week before, or maybe even sooner on the Intercut podcast that I did with the dudes. They're dope. And the biggest way that I could just pitch it is I love the story. I knew nothing about it when I first saw it, so I went into it blank. But the beginning is like up as a Google commercial. And then the beauty of it that I learned from the interview was that they hid an entire other movie inside the movie with all the little things that they have on the on the side of the computer and stuff. So I personally love it. It's my favorite of the year for me. When you're trying to start, there's tons of info. Need to start unfiltering info. Kanye albums, worst to best. I can't do that on the spot right now. But, what is it? College Dropout just got taken out of Apple Music. That's lame. Glad you also like Brigsby Bear. Hella Slept On. Favorite movie 2017. Saludos of Florida. Shut up, man. Yeah, I love Brigsby Bear. Obviously, I always forget. Obviously a lot. What 3 movies have surprised you the most so far this year? I think I was just asked this question a little bit earlier. But Searching. I'm just going to say Searching. And Sorry to Bother You. To add for the ones that did excite me and I think you guys should check out. Thoughts on The Simpsons creator making a new Netflix original fantasy comedy film? I have not heard about this, but sure. Do you DC Cinematic Universe will be restarted? No. I don't know what they're doing. Are you excited for Quentin's new movie with Leo? I am. I am very excited. Curious to see what they do with it. Did you make any movies? I have a couple of shorts that you'll be seeing in 2019. My stream cut out. What was the answer to the PTA question? These are uploaded. So if you miss anything from earlier on, if I don't answer your question, it's not because I'm skipping it. It's just because I don't want to repeat some of the stuff. But I had said Magnolia best, Inherent Vice worst. Kids See Ghost for your middle brother over at HMO. Yeah, I feel like the Kids See Ghost one is just going to become a meme of when that one's going to come out. But I have stuff planned over there. Where am I at? Art, can you please make more lists on Letterboxd? I like getting suggested from you on there, but I need more from you. Do lists for top movies of the year. Well, I mean, my major list, I'm covering everything, so my top movies would be whatever's in the top 20. But I will be making more when I go to film festivals. So when I go to TIFF, I'll make one for that and stuff like that. My main thing with Letterboxd is that Letterboxd people crazy. I'm just saying it straight out. I love y'all, but y'all a little bit crazy. I'll give something 3 stars, and I still give it the heart, and I liked it, but they'll still go, what the heck is wrong with you? So I'm like, I see. I would much rather vocalize my opinions than write them down. So that's why I make the list. And if you click on the list, it's got a little thing where it shows you all of my comments on it, so you can definitely see, like, the tidbits there. Or, you know, the monthly wrap-ups, that's where I pretty much break down everything. Have you seen Isle of Dogs? Love it. Tiana Taylor's Setlist Potential? Yeah, I like it. On the down below, you'll always see I have my playlist on every single video in the description. I have some of her songs on my current playlist that you can follow. Do you watch the show Snowfall? I do not. Did you see the new Glow season? Yes. You haven't seen my new June wrap-up. That's in my top 5. I just want to see myself on the video. There you go. See, some of you are smart. Some of you guys want to be on an AZ show video, and you know, boom, just comment, boom, you're right there. Name a few of your favorite underground hip-hop artists. I don't know if underground is a thing anymore. That's like a whole discussion. But if we're talking like not as big in the mainstream, Jid recently. I was recently put on to Jid, and I'm really liking his stuff. Was 8th grade good? Yes. There'll be a Let Me Explain on it tomorrow to hype you up for it. I enjoy it more and more every time I watch it. You excited for The Irishman? Of course. Because your boy Joe Pesci's coming back. What is the average expense for Sundance trip and the film fest? What's the most affordable film fest? That is the most affordable film fest will always be the film festivals that are in your close to you, right? Because then you just have to pay the price of the tickets. What makes a film festival so expensive is, like for Sundance, for me, being in Chicago, is going... And again, I promised that video will be out. It will be out in September because October is when the sale goes on. So I want to have it close to when you guys, you know, don't see the video in February and then completely forget that October's right around the corner. Is the plane ticket and lodging. Like if you're staying there for a week and Park City's $250 a night, I'll give my tips on that. But that's usually the biggest things to look into. At the Sundance website, you can go right now and it breaks down everything for you on the ticket packages you can get. Have you watched any movies in different languages other than English recently? If so, which ones? I'm watching Dark. Barely starting that up because I've been getting a lot of requests, so I don't know what language Dark is in, but I would say Dark. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Killing Eve. You will very soon because that's been very hyped up to me. I just gotta watch it. Something I noticed in Sicario 1 and Sicario 2, Thanos emotionally broke Emily. If something misses, it's because it goes away. But let's see. Oh, there it is. And he did the same thing to the kidnapped girl. Yeah, Thanos is just Thanos is crazy. Any favorite LGBT movies? I loved Call Me By Your Name. And I love Timothée Chalamet. So, as of recently, that one for sure. Read Me ATZ Squad. There you go. You should watch Snowball. Definitely. I'll watch it as soon as I can. Jid album, one of the best last year. Yeah, dude. Catching up late on it? Yes, it most definitely is. I really enjoy that one. A24 makes the best movies. They have some flops here and there, but yeah, I always trust their stuff for the most part. Do you watch anime? No, definitely tweet me some of your suggestions. Do you like girls? I love everybody in this world. Rank these movies. I'm going to say... And these always will change. Fight Club, Birdman, Drive. Very close to each other, though. Thoughts on 7 Seconds. Yeah, I hate that it got canceled. I talked about it on one of my must-watches. I enjoyed it. It sucks they're not continuing it. Do you think The Man from U.N.C.L.E. should get a second movie because I like it? Yeah. Or maybe even a series. Maybe even like a Netflix series. I think it would do well with that. This just updated crazy. Let's see, I'll cover a couple more and then I gotta head out, do the Intercut podcast. Can you make a Let Me Explain on my blog? I have an A to Z one on there, so you can check the A to Z one out. Dark is in German. What do you think YouTube Grace Randolph? Do you have beef with her? Nah, I do not have beef with Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph, I guess that'll be the final question here. I'm not a person who likes seeing other YouTubers like fail or anything else. I wish the best for all my YouTube contemporaries. I like seeing people prosper. The thing that I hate the most about YouTubers is when they quit. I see a lot of people who just stop. And I'm like, just keep doing it. YouTube is a free platform. Do live streams, which is the easiest thing in the world to interact with people, bro. Like, it is. And girls, and you know, do whatever you possibly can because, you know, well, I don't know how long YouTube is going to be there for, but in the meantime, I love creating a connection, creating an audience with you guys, and being able to create content, getting my thoughts out there. So the biggest thing is when people don't make that stuff. My joke with Grace was that, and I had mentioned this in a couple of other ones a little bit ago, Grace all of a sudden is doing explain videos. Bro, I ain't doing movie math over there on Let Me Explain. So I saw her, she did like an ending explain to Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't own the explain video stuff. I just think it's funny when bigger YouTubers are taking something that's trending that they've never done before. Go ahead, up on it for a video too. But y'all have seen some of the bigger YouTube channels and Screen Rants and the other people who all of a sudden love explaining stuff. So the biggest joke there is that I clicked on that video, and there's one point where her inflection of her voice just goes, what is it, the incredibly important. So I thought that was funny. I just used it as a meme. She was cool with it. So shout out to Grace. Like, she was dope with it. Someone had tweeted it to her, and she commented on the video. So I like that. I like someone who can take a joke because Grace has been, the meme or the stigma around Grace is that she can't, that she's a little too serious. But she took it, so... You know, shout out to that. But Grace, I swear, if you take another one of my videos, I'm going to take movie math from you. On that, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shout out to the patrons, as always. At the beginning of the month, if you like these, if you're over on Patreon for just $1, again, just the tips to help out all 3 channels. At the beginning of the month, we always do a, what's it called? A Google Hangout. I don't know how many fit in there, but we just, like, everyone talks, and probably the best way to meet you guys. But even then, I like doing these. Send me your recommendations for the road trip. I'll see you guys in the next video.